and Oscar
Whoa!
Palema. Look at that!
Wow.
Delmo.
Get there. Hey, Tour. And we're back. Another episode of Over the Cap, presented by nobody. How about presented by the New York Mets? Because my owner spent probably $500 million this week on signing free agents, and yeah, that's why we're going with the Met colors this week. Once again, joining us, my man himself, John. How do you feel about our Met owner? Just you want $300 million? Here's a check. You want 180? Here's a check. You want 50 a year? Here's a check. How great is that?
It's certainly a nice change of pace for the Mets franchise. It's nice to see possibilities in the future rather than accept failure moving
Can Steve
forward.
Cohen go buy the PBA?
I think that'd be a really shitty investment for him, but I think he would probably do a great job.
Can we get somebody that's worth $50 billion to go buy the PBA?
That'd be a pretty fantastic start for the PBA.
For the PBA. So really quick before we get the list going,
Yeah.
bowled the holiday doubles this week, by the way.
Which, by the way, real quick, I wanted to ask you before you even get into it.
Yeah.
I saw your post saying that you were going to be on the live stream in games 3 or 4 in your qualifying block.
Yeah.
I was watching and I never even saw you in the distant pairs. Was there a separate feed that maybe I
Yeah.
wasn't on?
Yeah, Flanagan had 2 channels. He had channel 1, channel 2. I was on the featured pair game 4 Friday morning on channel 2. So like if you go to YouTube, I'm the first thing that pops right up.
I found channel 2 later on when I watched the match play portion of it.
Yeah.
But in the early going, I was just frantically waiting for you to show up. So I did miss your on air, but
Yeah.
I can obviously go watch the replay of it at least. But anyway,
I
go
will
ahead.
I will tell you this. That was, out of all the tournaments I've ever bowled in my life, the greatest tournament ever. It was run, Jerry and his staff. I've never bowled an event that was so smooth. I bowled 8 a.m. Friday morning. We were on the lanes by 10 after 8. We had a little like players meeting before we started. 2 lane machines going at the same time. 3, 4, 500 brackets. No problems. Scores in quick. I mean, it was just payouts were done instantly. No BS. And it was the greatest tournament I've ever bowled before. Like, if you want to run a tournament and do it the right way, go talk to Jerry out in St. Louis. Phenomenal event. Great prize fund. A lot of talent. I mean, a lot of good bowlers. I mean, Andrew Anderson won the title. He bowled with a 2-hander from Michigan. I don't remember his name. I don't know if you know who he is.
Andre Gonzalez, I believe was his last name.
Andre something or Andres something.
It's just Andre. Andre Gonzalez, 2-handed lefty out of the Michigan area.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I mean, well, first off, let's talk about the tournament real quick because, I agree with you on an awesome venue, awesome tournament hosts. I mean, there's a reason why you get, 250 entries in a doubles tournament?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, there's a reason why bowlers are going to go, and you just explained it all perfectly. So
yeah. With a 60-person waiting list.
Yeah, exactly. So my curiosity was, again, I didn't get a chance to see you bowl. I will watch when you were on the live stream later on when we get off. But you guys look like you were doing okay on you in numbers wise. I mean, if I recall correctly, I saw you like hovering around the top 10 for a couple games. Am I wrong?
No, we got to after 4. We were 227 over after 4, which was exactly where I wanted to be. I figured 400 over for 8 was the safe number to bowl Saturday night. They took 42 teams to the cashers round. and then they paid an additional 10 spots after that.
Okay.
I didn't want to cash. I wanted to bowl Saturday night, and I figured 400 over was the safe number to bowl Saturday night. I got the game 6, 7, and 8 and bowled a clean 618, 30 frames. 30 clean, 618.
Shit.
And it was just, how weird is this? I bowled all 8 games throwing the same ball. And never made a ball change. Never made a ball change. I just moved my hand a little bit. The ball saw the lane really good. And in 8 games, I left 2 10 pins in 8 games, which is surprising.
Yeah,
Especially
in that building.
I stoned 9 times in 8 games. So it was like, I'm out for 250 into the 9th, bang, stone 9, 230. I was out for 260 the second game, blower 7 turns into 240. Like, I never got the hit to get me to 250, 260. And Will, he had a great reaction. His problem was he just could not break up a split. Every time he had something, he paid the full price. And, okay, he's bowling 2-0, 2-10. I can't bowl 250, but I can't get the one break to get me to 60 over. But it is what it is. We bowled with 2 lefties from Tennessee. No idea who they were. Never seen them a day in my life. How weird was this? They show up to bowl the tournament with 10 bowling balls. Fine. Whatever. No big deal, right?
Yeah.
The leadoff guy gets up. He throws a Rubicon to start. Boom. 10 back. Great. Guy on the bottom goes now. He gets up, takes said ball, Rubicon, off the rack, thumb out, new thumb in, throws it dead flush. I'm looking. I'm like, did he just use the same ball? So we called him out on it. He goes, oh, yeah, we travel together. We have the exact same span, the exact same specs, the exact same pitches. The only thing that's different is our thumbs. We switch out our its, and we use the same equipment. They bowled 8 games using the same balls for 8 games.
It's one way to save money.
One way to save money. The guy shot 300 on the featured pair. He shoots 300. All right. He backed it up by bowling 150. So maybe he needs to drill his own ball for next year.
Sounds like it.
But all kidding aside, dude, a lot of talent in the field. I've never saw Jacob Buttriff bowl live before until Saturday.
It's pretty impressive, isn't it?
It's very impressive. He's really accurate. He looks like a drunken ballerina, but my God, he is accurate, repeat shots. It was a sight to see. It really was.
And he never, ever bails on a shot. He is 100% committed to every single shot he throws. It's so cool to watch. And not to mention his partner, Greg Thompson.
Oh, my God. He throws it fantastic.
Is that just like the longest, freest, dirtiest, meanest awesomeness you've ever seen?
He reminds me of John Gaines.
Yeah, that long and strong.
Totally. Yeah, Greg Thompson's like easily 6'5", maybe bigger than that.
He's a big boy.
He's a large mammal.
Yes, he is.
He threw it well. And the other guy that I was really impressed with, other person I was impressed with, never seen them bowl live, was Liz Johnson, ever.
Really?
Never seen Liz bowl live. And doing what she does best, I mean, just ridiculously accurate. It was like watching poetry in motion.
Yeah. To me, watching Liz is like watching Walter Ray. Yeah, they hit what they're looking at every time, every time.
And then Pete bowled, Parker bowled. Really quick, and then we'll get onto the list. Parker crossed with a lefty righty on their pair. Parker bowled with Justin. Lefty was about 330, 340 over for the 8. He was wrenching on a spare tire.
Who's this?
It's the lefty crossing with Parker.
Okay.
No idea who he is. I can send you a video of him later. No
Roseberry?
clue who he is.
Derek Roseberry?
No, I would remember that name. I've never heard of the guy before.
Okay.
Kind of stocky guy, and I'll send you the video now. But wrenching on a spare tire and peeling it from every part of the lane. It was unbelievable to watch this. And, yeah, there you go. Take a look at that. But all in all, dude, great event. Left to right, fair. That's all I can ask for is fair. One side, you're bowling on the China. One side wasn't easier than the next. Your buddy GG3, phenomenal. I mean, ran him over Saturday.
Oh yeah,
as he does everywhere.
I watched, man. He's incredible.
George is fantastic.
I wanted to. You mentioned you used one bowling ball. What bowling ball was it?
I used a dark code for 8 games. Both sides of the house played different. They ran 2 machines, and they openly said that they're going to play a little different because of the machines.
What ball was it? Sorry,
I threw a dark code.
A dark code.
Yeah, for 8 games. And
yeah, so this is Derek. This video you sent me is Derek Roseberry.
That's the guy. Oh, I didn't know.
Yeah, he made it. Their team made it to the final 12.
Yeah,
Derek's a good player, man. He is. I mean, I love throwing plastic. I really do. There were times that I could use that I've curved plastic that much without my thumb in it, like, and when I almost made TV at the PBA plastic ball. That's around the zone I was playing, but that building on that pattern, I guess maybe because there's so much surface friction, St. Clair doesn't even have pro lane. So those lane beds got to be 30-something years old minimum. Yeah.
And each side of the house played different. So the lower side of the house was much tighter, at least an arrow tighter than the high end. And this guy it didn't matter. He just slow wrenched on a spare ball, and it was just like a snowplow. Everything went straight back when he hit the pocket. It was really a sight to be seen. And his partner, whoever he was a righty. He was in with a carbon jab, and he just had the world. And his ball just 10 back, nothing light. It was just, they both 5-0 for like 4 games in a row. You're not beating that.
No way.
No.
Why don't you go ahead and get us started? I'm going to go turn on my lamp because the sun's going down.
Oh, all right. So let's do this. So we had started talking about our best in each state, and we did our top 10 telecasts of all time last week. So John and I like doing this sort of stuff. So we're going to do tonight the top, I don't even have a top 10. There's no real number on this one, but the biggest one-hit wonders that ever hit the PBA Tour. Now, we got to have some kind of parameters on it, though. We have to have some kind of parameters.
When I did my selections, I did it 100% based off bowlers with 1 title.
Yeah, that's kind of what I did, too.
And then I tried to weed out the ones who are more deserving than a one-hit wonder title through the list of one-time titleists.
All right, gotcha. I'm going to assume we're going to have a couple dupes on our lists.
Yeah, we definitely will have at least a few dupes, but be interesting to see if, like, I actually have 12 and I have them alphabetized.
Wow.
Alphabetized.
All right, so you can start us off then with your first one.
Let me go to my notes.
Go to your notes.
I love being prepared, and I guess I love being prepared because I'm never prepared.
Yeah, ever. I got my notes here too. We got them there.
I'm not really prepared. All right, my number 1 in the one-hit wonders.
Can you give a little preview? See if I can guess the person. We'll do that. We'll do that.
Yes.
Okay.
My first selection is a major champion on the PBA Tour.
Scott Alexander.
Is it because I told you I already did it alphabetically?
Yeah, alphabetized. I kind of figured that one. And I had Scott Alexander on mine too.
Ooh, where is it? Yeah. You can't see it. Frank, Scott. That's a nice picture, John. Scott Alexander is my first one.
Yeah, good job, John. I had Scott Alexander too. He won the national. He did make one other show before he won the national.
That he did. Masters.
You remember that one?
The Masters.
Yeah. The Masters.
Throwing urethane, I think a black turbo.
Was it?
I'm pretty sure he was throwing a black turbo on that show.
And he never really did anything after he won the title, right? He just kind of fizzled out, right?
He did, and I do recall him making one show with resin as well after his win. The Masters show was prior. He made the show at the Masters before he won the 95 national championship.
Yes.
But I do recall him bowling maybe when they had the format of the 3 bowlers that bowled the opening match on TV and then the title match. I feel like I may have seen him once after that 1995 win, but who knows? But anyway, either way, Scott Alexander was a good player, but seemingly just decided that was enough for me. I'm going to move on to something different in life. So that's a good one.
Scott Alexander. I like that one. All right. I'll give you mine. I'll give you one here. I'll keep it in the, Alexander won in the 90s. So I'll go to the 2000s.
Okay.
This guy won his only title. He was the winner of the first show of the new PBA in Peoria.
I got it. And he's not on my list.
Oh, he's not. So I got one that you didn't have.
Correct. Is this Kurt Pelon?
It is Kurt Pelon, correct.
Wow.
Now, and he later went by Mr. Pelon, if you remember, when he had his name shirts. He was Mr. Pelon.
Now I remember. I didn't remember until you just said it.
That Kurt won in Peoria. That was the show where the lady butchered the national anthem right after 9/11.
Yes, I remember.
Oh,
and he was throwing a Vortex Afterburner, that green and orange piece of shit.
Yeah, and they were impossible too. That was was that like our first introduction to sport bowling on TV?
It sure was. And at that time, remember, a lot of the bowling centers they were doing them in were still like old wood.
Yeah, and Landmark was old wood, if you remember.
Yes, absolutely. And I remember how brutal they were on that show. I mean, they were disgusting on that show.
It was Himmler, Voss,
yeah,
Paul Kaler,
correct,
Pelon.
Yeah, who else was the wild card match? I can't think of it.
A blank on. Yeah, but those are the four that I can think of right off the bat.
That's a very good pick. I remember talking to Dave O'Sullivan about what happened to Pelon. I guess Pelon was screwing around bowling, and he, like, I don't know if he was bowling lefty or like he was doing trick shots, throwing ball between his legs, but I think he did something and severely damaged his wrist or something physical right prior to the Steve Wilson was the fifth one. Thanks, D.
Thank you, buddy.
The hell was I just talking about?
Pelon throwing trick shots between his legs.
Oh yeah, I think I recalled O'Sullivan saying to me that like he injured himself really badly right before the World Series or right before tour trials he couldn't bowl tour trials because of this thing that he did to his wrist, and we never heard from him ever again after that. I mean, obviously he still bowls, but
yeah, he had some health problems too, I think.
Did
he? I think he did. I remember reading that somewhere, but I'm glad he's bowling again. But he was a good pick for a one-hit wonder, I thought.
Absolutely. Great pick.
All right. Throw me another one.
Okay. Let me go back to my list.
You can't alphabetize them because I think it makes it too. You got to mix it around your list, I think.
Okay. Don't alphabetize it?
Yeah, because if you go like, you can kind of figure them out, I think.
Okay. December 18th, 2015. The winner of the Rolltech PBA World Championship. Are you frozen or are you thinking?
We're losing some internet. We're having some internet problems, but I think I got this one.
Can you hear me?
I don't know if you can hear me, John.
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I think we lost Johnny for a second. Yeah, I think we lost John. John, I'm gonna bring Johnny out. We'll bring him back on. I think John had some internet problems. Yeah, we got to get Johnny back. I think I figured out who this one is. This was another major titleist. See, is Johnny back? Johnny is not back still. I can hear you. I don't know why the video. Johnny's gone. Maybe it's me. There we go, John. Is this one Gary Faulkner?
That is correct.
I had Gary Faulkner too. Guys, for the people that are watching that are typing to the chat, are we better now? Is our internet better?
You look a little blurry to me, there, Mikey.
You look a little blurry to me too, as well. I don't know. I got crappy internet. John, is Gary Faulkner the answer?
Yes, Gary Faulkner.
Yeah.
And again, really good player, known around the game. Bowled
Yeah.
for Weber International, anchored them to a intercollegiate championship, and definitely kudos to him. Good player, but not for nothing, came out, won the world championship in the stadium,
One-hit wonder.
which we already know is.
Did he? I don't know why I'm frozen. Am I any better here, John?
Well, now you are a black screen, so it's just me talking to a black screen. But it shows you attempting to load right now. But for the sake of, if you can at least hear me, and we are still talking on your show, while Mike goes through his technical difficulties, we are currently going over our top one-hit wonders on the PBA Tour. And so far, what we have gone through is the following. We started off with PBA National Champion 1995, Scott Alexander. And then Mike's first pick was, my God.
How's that? We any better now?
Yes, I can see you perfectly right now.
All right, so we're back.
All right, so correct. Mike's first selection, guys, was Kurt Pilon, and now I just backed it up with the 2015 PBA World Champion, which was Gary Faulkner. And I was explaining to Mike and everybody listening, if you still good, Mike?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So yeah, Gary Faulkner, that was a time when a lot of lefties were coming out of the woodwork on the tour. You started seeing guys like Graham Fa. You started seeing guys like Jesper Buttriff. Everybody started to get him on the left side, and he won the world championship in Reno's National Bowling Stadium, which is lefty heaven, throwing a ball that was later taken off the market because it was illegal, because the RGs were too high on the ball.
Oh, that jackal thing, right?
Yeah, that red one. I think it was maybe called the Carnage or whatever it was. But anyway, for those reasons, I had to put Gary in as a definite one-hit wonder on tonight's list.
I like that one. Let's.
Oh, and by the way, to everybody, I'd way rather be a one-hit wonder than what I am. So in no way, shape, or form is this a demeaning list.
No, not at all. Not at all. Let's go with. How far back do you want to go? Let's see how smart you are.
I have one from 1978, 86, and the rest are like.
86 is going to be the one I'm going to throw at you, but I think it's the same guy. Is this the owner, CEO of Island Bowling Supply?
Yes.
Would this be this gentleman who won his only title in his home center?
Yes.
Would this be the famous Pete Hakem?
This is the Mr. Peter Hakem.
All right, so we're good on that one.
They got Peter in there, and I remember because I used to work for Peter in his office. He actually has that black U-dot that he used on the show to win in a case in his office.
How big was the trophy he got for that thing? That thing was massive.
Yeah, trophies were good back then, man.
Yeah, they were.
They really gave you some nice shit.
Yeah,
but yeah, for sure, that was definitely a one-hit wonder for me.
He never made another show.
Nope.
He bowled the Firestone and never heard from him again. He did he bowled a little bit, but that was it, right? He won at home. Literally, he bowled a league in that building at Garden City.
Mm-hmm.
And see you later. Never heard from Pete Hakem again.
Yep.
And now,
as far as professional bowling.
Yeah. And now he is the CEO of Island Bowling Supply, based in Long Island. Go check out Pete for all your distributor needs there.
Heck yeah, he's the best.
Cheap plug for Pete Hakem. All right,
awesome.
So we agreed on that one. Throw me another one.
Okay. All right. Okay, here we go. This was my first ever PBA cash in 2007. The Bayer Classic.
Oh.
Parkersburg, West Virginia.
This guy, I actually
Not
saw
Parkersburg. Yeah, I think it was Parker.
Chambersburg or Parkersburg.
I can't remember.
I actually saw this guy this weekend.
Really?
He owns, if it's the guy I'm thinking of, he owns the shop at St. Clair, I believe.
I believe that might be where he's from, ironically.
He almost made the 710 on that show.
Tell me his name.
Mike Miniman.
That is on the list, Mr.
And
Mike Miniman.
I had him too. Who did he beat for that?
I know he was throwing a Vapor Zone.
Yeah.
I want to say he beat Chuga.
He did, but not for the title.
That's right. That was the first match. Chuga was throwing a T-Road Pearl.
Chuga was just getting all over it too.
Oh, God. My God, for some reason I'm drawing a blank.
We just talked about him last week. If you look at this guy, he is unfortunately the stereotypical bowler.
Dale Traber. Oh,
Traber Dale.
Dale Traber.
The J.C. Penney warehouse worker, right?
The catalog warehouse worker, yes, sir.
Catalog warehouse worker. So, yeah, Mike Miniman, and I think he runs the shop at St. Clair, but I saw him at St. Clair. Pretty sure he does run the shop there.
That's awesome.
All right.
Nice guy, too.
Nice guy. Tall guy. I got one for you here, bud.
All right, then.
Lefty. This man was a minister.
He's on my list, too.
He bowled 300 on his first TV show.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was in Texas where he won.
Columbia 300 Open.
He beat Parker. He shot 300 against Parker, right?
Yep, throwing a Pearl Omega. February 2nd, 1996.
Oh, you had the date on yours, too?
Mm-hmm.
When the answer is C.K. Moore.
C.K. Moore.
Now, he did make one other show.
He did.
Not Hartford, Windsor Locks.
Windsor Locks, and lost to Dennis Horan. Dennis Horan was throwing a Pacific Storm. And I was actually rooting. I was rooting for C.K. Moore in Harrisburg. That was the show that that Parker wore those lime green shoes on and threw the danger zone, and part of the B was busted out. I was so pissed at Parker that day.
Parker didn't have a very good look that day either.
No, it looked like crap. Everything about it looked. They kept talking about him using tape in the front side of his thumb hole for the first time ever in the championship round. But anyway, C.K. Moore, when he won in Austin, he ran the ladder, so he was undefeated on television. And I'm like, oh wow, he makes this show, and then he wins that first match on the Windsor Locks show. I'm like, wow, now he's still undefeated. He's 5-0, and then when he lost to Horan for the title, and I'm like, okay, we never heard from C.K. Moore again.
No, and he is a minister, right? Isn't he some kind of like a religious guy?
He's a Presbyterian minister. Yes.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one there. Never heard from the guy again.
Mm-hmm.
One other show. See you later. And I don't think he ever made like a comeback or anything, right?
No, not that I know of.
All right. C.K. Moore. So just to recap so far. Scott Alexander.
Mm-hmm.
Kurt Pilon. Gary Faulkner. Pete Hakem. Mike Miniman. C.K. Moore. And throw the next one at me.
I'm going to go back to the champion, the 2009 USBC Masters champion. He was throwing.
He's on mine.
He's on yours? He was throwing. He was throwing a 1 pearl on the show.
He's not on mine, actually.
Nice.
I didn't put John Nolan, right?
John Nolan.
Yep. I didn't put John Nolan on mine. But here's the question. Like, Nolan was an amateur when he won the Masters, right? So, like, do we count, like, Jason Queen, Bogosian?
Nolan was an exempt player on tour.
Oh, when he won the Masters, he was?
I believe, yes. Because I believe he bowled an entire season on the exempt tour.
Okay. So, like, do we consider him that? Like, I wouldn't put Brian Bogosian on the list. I have Brett Wolf on mine. I'll be honest.
Well, I mean, I guess that's, pick your poison, because
Yeah.
It used to be that the Masters wasn't even considered a PBA title, so in which
Correct.
case that tournament shouldn't even allow these such names to be in the list. But since the PBA has decided to include the Masters as a PBA recognized title, I feel like it's okay to throw I don't have Jason Queen on my list.
No.
I know he's made shows other than his Masters win, but he's not on my list. But
mine either.
He could be, because it's basically the same thing as who the hell did I already deleted him? Who did I just say? The Masters champ, John
Brett
Nolan.
Wolf. Oh, John Nolan and Brett Wolf.
I'm saying John, like for instance, another one, Brett Wolf. Brett Wolf won the Masters, but never decided to bowl on tour full time. He went back to his day job working for Pepsi.
That's what he did?
Yeah. He was he delivered for Pepsi. Yeah.
Huh.
And then but Nolan was out there. I mean, Nolan was dating Lindsay Boomershine at the time before she was married to Hank. I mean, this was
I didn't know that.
He was out there going for it. And yeah, I'm going to put that one in there for different reasons.
Okay.
Other than say a Brett Wolf or a Jason Queen or guys like that.
All right, I like that one. I'll give you John Nolan. All right, so I'm not going to put Brett Wolf on mine then. I'll take Brett Wolf off of mine. I'm going to go with the next one. Another lefty. This guy, according to your father and Parker, if he stayed on tour, would have had a Hall of Fame career. He was that good. He made 2 shows. One was a double show. The other was a single show. He had a runner-up first in the doubles, and then he won the singles title. And he's from New Jersey.
I have no idea.
Are you drawing a blank on this one?
I am. I'm drawing a complete
Dwayne
blank.
Fisher.
Dwayne Fisher.
Dwayne Fisher.
I've never watched Dwayne Fisher throw a bowling ball.
Stop. Are you serious?
No, I haven't. Is it nice?
I'm going to try to pull this up. I know I'm having crappy internet tonight.
Wait a minute. Is he like neat, clean cut, really, really smooth?
And just hit it at the bottom with a lefty.
I think maybe I have seen him bowl, and I'm just drawing a complete blank on him. Nice pick.
Hold on. Let's see if I can get this one here. He bowled the thing, the doubles tournament with Parker. And they finished second to Cook and Albee. Go figure.
Yeah. They were nice on the left that week.
Yeah, but Dwayne Fisher won the Touring Players Championship.
Okay.
And let's see if I can pull one up. He won it at Taylor, and he beat Stayrook for the title. So Dwayne Fisher. I'll put Dwayne Fisher bowling. I can't believe you've never seen this guy bowl before.
I know. I'm embarrassed.
All right, let's do this. So I got it pulled up here. We're going to... I don't know what that's supposed to mean there, Charlie.
Oof, that sounds pretty deep. Maybe that's why his career wasn't nearly as recognized as it should have been.
Maybe. I'm pulling this up here.
Oh, I hear that beautiful pipes of the late, great Chris Schenkel.
Yes, so now...
Partnered with Ray Perez, leading by 8 pins over Bob Benoit and Del Ballard.
I don't know where it is. I'm going to... You know what? It was right after the tip of the week here, John, because... There we go. Let's do it right here.
Leader and his partner, Steve Cook, had 6 TV appearances, 3 big wins. Parker Bone, Freehold, New Jersey.
And we can see Parker looking rather dapper in that pink rhino shirt right
there.
there.
Yeah, he looks great.
Keith and Ray Perez.
That's a lot of hair from that team right there.
We're live in Las Vegas. Should any more Developments happen in Beijing
JD
and
is
China.
just
Of
full of
course,
compliments.
ABC News.
Thank you, John Daniel. Thank you.
We'll be covering it.
We want to just. All right.
Now that we've seen everybody else bowl on the telecast.
You don't want to just
But Dwayne
plow
Fisher.
into him. That's not the way to make it.
But
And
Jimmy
he is
Keith,
playing
he
a
got
straight
on
hook
it a
shot.
lot
He
too,
can't
John.
make
Oh, yeah.
that.
Gassed
Not
it
to
at his
be.
spares, too.
Not to be.
Yes, he did.
After winning 2 games,
Unfortunately, he's no longer with
can't
us.
allow their doubters to get down now.
Here we
They
go.
started with 2 opens. That has really opened the doors. We look a first-time television ever for Dwayne Fisher from Pennsauken, New Jersey, 26-year-old.
Well, that is pretty.
And the highly
That's pretty
respected
good.
Eastern Regional professional
That's not bad, dude.
with a double for his team.
What a nice shot for your first time ever in a championship round. Good smooth swing, shoulder high. Now watch this arm swing. Tuck it into that left hip, inside out. Good
What do you think,
release
John?
over the second arrow.
It's a very
And
pretty
he
game.
just saws that 5 out as they are off
That
to a
was
quick
the-
32-pin lead with the experience
We were
of
told,
Parker
how do I
Bone
get
at
rid
the
of
helm.
this here? We want to stop sharing the screen here. That was from your father and from Parker. That man would have had 15 titles if he stayed on tour. He was that good.
All right. Nice selection.
From Pennsauken. He won 1 title. What's that?
Huh? I
I
didn't say
lost
anything.
you. Oh, I thought you cut out. You cut out for a second there.
Nope, I'm here.
All right, let's give me another one.
All right. We're going to go with the winner of the 2006 PBA Pepsi Championship. I will give you a hint. You could see this man, but not really see this man because there are 2 of him that look like him. In other words, he has an identical twin brother. Beautiful game.
So
really good athletic physical shape.
So
And-
obviously the twins I'm thinking of is the Scroggies. And
Mhm.
Derek is answering the question before I'm even trying to think of it. Derek, it's my show. Let's relax on the answers here, bud. And one of the shortest fuses I've ever seen, Chris Collins.
Yes, sir.
Chris Collins had a real good amateur career too.
A beautiful career. I mean, beautiful game. I always the strength and the combination of strength and finesse with that tiny ass backswing, just awesome to watch. But I mean, he was a physical specimen. That guy. I mean, he's a guy that that's the shit. God, I have to say this right now because comparatively speaking, here's what I mean. A guy that's not on my list, especially now because of his success on the senior tour. Eugene McCune only has 1 title on tour, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't classify Eugene in the same one-hit wonder category as the guy that I just picked.
I agree.
Right? Who did I just pick? I forgot it already.
Chris Collins.
Chris Collins. Because Chris Collins wasn't out there long enough. And I feel like if Chris Collins was out there longer, despite both him and Eugene having basically the same head issues on the lanes throughout most of their careers, I can't tell you that Chris Collins wouldn't have won more titles.
Yeah.
So I had to. That's why Eugene is not on my list, especially because Eugene's continuing to win on the senior tour.
How's that, John?
See, that's the thing is I thought that McCune had more, which is why I didn't even look at him for the one lister. I feel like maybe he may have won a couple when they had like the extra frame tour, the shit that wasn't aired live.
Well, he won that Cheetah one in Vegas where he just threw like 24 miles an hour up the gutter.
That's the one I was thinking of too. But I stand corrected there.
Yeah.
Going back to Chris Collins, Chris Collins winning the Pepsi Championship is definitely on my list.
Good one.
Today.
Never even thought of Chris Collins. This one I'm going to need Charlie Tapp's help with if he's still watching. And it's not. Did you watch the show that we told you about with Charlie when he got beat by Toby Contreras?
No, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Thanks for calling me out.
I'm not going to say. I'm going to say Toby, but that's not who I'm going with here.
Okay.
This guy won in 1978. I believe it was 78. I did a little bit of homework on the little research on this one. This guy won in Green Bay or Milwaukee. The guy led the tournament. Holman qualified 5th and ran the ladder until the title match where this guy beat him. This guy lived like 8 blocks from the bowling center, almost like a Pete Hakem story. And if Charlie Tapp is watching, I want to know a little bit more about Fred Jaskey.
You got me there. I have no idea who Fred Jaskey is.
Fred Jaskey had a big fro. And he was a relatively straight guy. He threw really straight. And he beat Marshall for the title. And he lived, like I said, like 8 blocks away from the bowling center in Milwaukee. And never heard from him again. So I'm going to give one. I did a little homework on that one.
I like it.
Fred Jaskey.
I'll follow it up since we're asking for Charlie Tapp's input here. Maybe you could help with this one also. I'll give you one from the 1979 to keep it in the same era. The Showboat Invitational Champion of 1979.
Please, this may be the best one ever.
This is the best one ever.
If Charlie is still in the chat, I want to know how in God's name Emmett Shoots ever won a title.
There it is. Yes.
And did he beat Earl?
Yes, with the repertoire of strikes.
But John, how do you
I don't
Emmett
think that was
Shoots'
the title match.
ball roll?
His ball roll? Well, in the spirit of the holiday season, I believe Hanukkah starts on Sunday. And during Hanukkah, one of the games that's played is, with a dreidel. So I just want everybody at home to imagine spinning a dreidel counterclockwise. That was literally Emmett Shoots' release. You could see it looked like almost the elliptical rings around Saturn as it would travel down the lane. It looked like me going down a slip and slide. It was just a real mess. Like, you would look at the guy and think, this guy should bowl. If you have a 5-man team on Tuesday,
he'd bury him in the 2-hole.
This is the guy that, like, okay, we're gonna stack up 4 230s, but we need a 150, or we need somebody just to fill that one slot that hopefully marks 5 times a game. That's what it's like watching Emmett Shoots bowl. So a long time ago, this is so funny because I had asked my dad. I said, "Dad, do you think I'm ever going to win a PBA title? I don't think I'm good enough." And that's when he said, "John, you got that YouTube stuff, or you got just go do me a favor, go search Emmett Shoots, and then ask me again if you think you'll ever win a title if you really wanted to." And I said, "Thanks, Dad." That I never forgot it.
Emmett Shoots was unreal.
Oh yeah,
and he kind of, when his ball hit the pins, it was kind of like the Koreans, the Taiwanese,
like the helicopters.
Spinners. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Definitely.
Oh.
You know what's crazy, Mike, is he spun it so bad that it actually might work up the gutter on Cheetah these days. Like, you know how you have to stay under it when you bowl? At least when Cheetah was really easy, you had to keep the ball in front of you, throw it hard, end over end to make it hook and set. Anybody that got around it at all, you would leave designs, right? Emmett Shoots was so around it. I feel like he could still play outside of 5 and not worry about the ball jackknifing from spinning it too much. That's how much he spun it.
I could see that. That's a very good one. But my God, Emmett Shoots.
Emmett Shoots.
And what Charlie just said, it.
Yeah. Guys, if you're at home, go to YouTube and type in a repertoire of strikes. A repertoire of strikes. And there is a stretch of 6 frames where Emmett Shoots is bowling Earl Anthony, and he throws 6 consecutive strikes. Let us know how you would feel if you were bowling for a PBA title and
losing to that.
And Emmett Shoots threw that 6-pack against you.
I don't know what you could describe that as. I mean, I don't know how you describe losing to that.
Every dog has his day.
All right, so I'll give you another one.
Okay.
This was, again, I did a little bit of homework on this one.
Okay.
And I loved watching Marshall growing up. This was the 1981 True Value Open in Miami. And Marshall, tournament leader, and the gentleman that he is going to bowl for the title is about to run the ladder. His name is Bo Bowden.
I know that name.
Bo Bowden looked like Bob Ross.
Yes.
Now, Bo Bowden, what's funny here, and I'm going to pull this one up for us, John, because
okay, great.
Because this is just, it's classic Holman at its finest. So I guess the fans of Miami didn't like Holman, and they were giving it to him. So let's do this. Let's look at Bo Bowden first and see what he is. And I learned that Bo Bowden was a big action bowler from Texas. So he was a good bowler.
Thank you. Well, you're being the youngest in the ABC Bowling Hall of Fame. What does that mean?
I don't know. Maybe we're getting old.
I think this is the frame when they started
Holman,
cheering when
22-pin lead, turkey working.
Ooh, there's a high hit. Now those that do. Listen to it.
Oh my God, that's horrible.
6-7,
Now,
a very unusual hit. That sharp
if
hook
Charlie's
right
still
through
here,
is all of a sudden brought a new light to this
Charlie
match.
was probably on tour during this. Now, what gets me is watch the opponent. Here comes Bo Bowden. He's on the approach already. He's on the approach already.
I know Marshall Holman. If you don't want him to win, just
so here's
Bo
Bowden, John.
The crowd over here was yelling
I have
that
seen
split,
this
egging
show.
him on. That just all it does is make him just that much better.
But now they're cheering him.
That's how easily they turn.
Got a nice game.
Yeah.
And of course, Bowden is not forgotten.
Now,
with that double,
if we want to go
he's
have a little
trailing
more
by
fun
8 pins. What a great
with
championship match.
Bowden,
There
solid
was
hit.
one
driving
other
the
part of this
2-pin
show
right in
that
the
I saw.
4-7.
Oh, no. A 7-10 on the right lane for tournament leader Marshall Holman. Replaying the stroke.
Marshall always said his carry is great here in Miami, but watch this one. Definitely
This
a
is
bad
what
break.
got
The
me,
second
John.
time
But
we've
this
seen
is
it today,
hysterical.
the swishing 7-10. Holman talking to the crowd. They were cheering him on the way to the foul line. He stopped, turned to the crowd, says, "Let me work." He's actually only going to go for one, but I'm sure he'll give it an effort with extra speed.
Breaking the concentration.
Is there anything better than Holman when he fries out?
No, there's not.
So I'll give Bo Bowden. Bo Bowden. Oh, and I just got a text message from one of my personal friends, Mrs. Williams. Fancy.
Hello, Fancy.
And she just texted me a name who was on my list.
Okay.
This guy won the Quaker State, John. A lefty. And she said that the Hubs, meaning the GOAT, said this guy. He's on my list. He won it, I want to say 91 or 92. He won the Quaker State. And he's unfortunately has passed away since.
Can I have some initials?
AB.
Alan Bishop?
Very good, John. Alan Bishop.
I didn't know that Alan passed away.
Yes, I believe Alan Bishop did pass away.
I feel like I saw him on another show, too. I feel like he was on the show when Steve Hardy made his only show. I think it was an all-lefty final. Couch, Bishop.
Really?
Yeah, I'm almost positive. I want to say Couch, Bishop, Steve Hardy, and 2 other guys.
Derek Williams. But Derek Williams.
He was on the show. He bowled Couch in the first match. And I think Parker. Hi, Fancy. Miss you, girl. Hope all is well.
Merry Christmas and happy holidays to the Williams family.
Absolutely.
And really quick, kudos to Fancy for getting my parents a dog sitter so they can come up to visit for Christmas. Thank you, Fancy, for the dog sitter.
Yes.
Referral. The way to go with the dog sitter. And since we're talking about the Williams, I think the best one ever has to be one against Walter Ray.
Okay.
He only made one show ever.
Was it in 1992?
No, I think it was later. It might have been 93 or 4. It was the year Walter just had the monster year.
Well,
so I want to
that could be that could be anywhere from
86 to the present.
Well, 93 was Walter was Mr. Everything. I mean, every record that could have been broken was broken in 93, but it's not really like he slowed down any time after that. But okay, so give me some more. He bowled Walter. It's the early 90s. Go ahead. Only show.
He only made one show.
Okay.
And his lifetime average on the telecast, on the championship round, is 299. And Walter Ray bowled 267 or 268 for second.
That's 1992.
And if I remember,
Harrisburg.
he was on our show and he told us he went. Yeah, and he told us he went like winner, second, winner, second again. Like it was a ridiculous stretch he had.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy came out.
I think it was
299.
Yeah, 92.
93.
I think I got it listed at 92. It was a purple because Brian Davis, by the way, right?
Brian
We're
Davis.
talking about
Brian Davis.
It was 93. You're right. August of 93. Because he's on my list too. PurpleRhinoProMullet.org.
and Walter Ray bowls 267 or 268. Thanks for playing.
Yeah, it's funny how we always talk about that, about how, Walter had this bowled against him, this and that. Let's keep in mind that the more times you do something, the more likely things are going to happen.
Yes.
Like I can recall 100 times that Mark Roth lost with scores of 250 or higher on television, which is why he only won 34 times.
Yeah.
I can count 50 times that Walter's had 270 or higher bowled against him on TV, which is why Walter doesn't have 100 titles on the regular tour.
Well, that's the only way you're beating him is to bowl 270.
Exactly. The only way to do it to somebody that many times is they make TV every week. I mean, Walter's been on TV 200 times. I mean, it's insane, dude. I want to make one show before I'm gone. Walter's made 200 something. God, it's so good.
So, let's go back to if Tap is still here. and Fancy said her favorite memory is watching your dad bowl 300 at the husband.
Her story, she is definitely a consistent woman, Fancy, because she said the exact same thing to me when I saw her in Florida a few years back. Almost 5 years ago now.
So I want to. This is Charlie.
Wait a minute. Wait, good. You're gonna put up a.
No.
I was gonna say my next one.
Okay.
Is super super controversial.
Oh boy.
But like only because of me. Like I could give a shit less what other people think. It's controversial to me in my own brain.
Okay, let me have it.
The 1994 Iowa Foresters champion,
Mike Edwards.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see how you could say Mike Edwards is a one-hit wonder.
Hence the reason I opened this the way I opened it. Because when we started the show, we said, what were the parameters? And I said, I'm going strictly based off guys that have one title listed in the PBA. And that it bothered me to even.
Had a really good career.
Still does. Well,
yes.
Yeah, I know. I'm talking about only the title part, not his skill, not his talent. I mean, Eddie's made 40 shows. I'm talking about
easily.
Remember last week when we said that this is it's a tough way to put it. It's for shit like this because he should never ever be on the list. But according to the parameters, he is.
So who had a better career, Mike Edwards or Phil Ringener?
Mike Edwards.
Agreed.
Who had a better career, Brian Leclerc or Phil Ringener? Like how do we leave Brian Leclerc off the one-hit wonder list? Well, Brian Leclerc never won on the PBA Tour.
That's like Richie Wolf.
But he's won on the senior tour, and he's been a great player for 30 years, right?
I think Leclerc had a better career than Phil Ringener did, even though he never went to the winner's circle.
Of course, absolutely. And then, how about Brian Leclerc, comparatively speaking, to Mike Edwards' career? It's a tricky topic when you go down there, which is why I was really trying to pick the definite one hits. And now he's one of my last three are all like
controversy.
Well, no, two of them are, one of them isn't. But these last three, I was trying to do a top 10 and I got 12. So I just started picking names, going off the other parameters. But either way, Eddie's only in there for the simple reason that he has one PBA title.
Yeah, I agree. That's a hard one, though. But Edwards was I don't even want to call him a journeyman. I don't want to call him a journeyman. He is a veteran. Like, a journeyman is a guy who cashes, once a month, twice a month, maybe? Edwards had a solid career, dude. He really did.
If Eddie bowled 18 tournaments in a season, he had 12 cashes and 7 top 24s every single week. There's no doubting his ability.
And 3 shows a year, probably. I mean, he was that good.
Totally, especially in the mid to late 90s.
I agree. That green Nitro R he would throw. I mean, Mike Edwards was a hell of a player, and he throws it so good.
It's so pretty. It's so great to watch.
It is. So now, let's go back a little bit older. We'll go a little bit later, earlier in time here. Okay.
Okay.
We're gonna go to the 19, and I hope Charlie's still with us. This is Charlie's show. All right. This is the 1983 AC Delco, where Charlie Tapp is bowling Toby Contreras for the title. Now, Tapp qualified 3rd. All right. And Toby was a tournament leader. Let's pop this open here, shall we?
Ready.
And I've always wanted to hear Charlie Tapp. I would love to.
There he is. No. What a shit opening for Charlie.
That wasn't, I don't think, by the way, love the PW on his arm.
No, I meant you. Why would you start the video there?
Well, I'm a prick. Why wouldn't I?
Looking down at his hand. Remember, he's got blisters all over that hand and possibly that glove.
And there's Toby.
A little bit more and $23,000 first place.
Do I know
all
Toby?
Add up to a missed 10.
He's the regional director in the Central or the Midwest. Maybe the Central.
Okay.
Now,
to my knowledge,
final match.
This was the only show Toby Contreras ever made.
I'm going to have to believe you.
Another
Come
10
on.
Pin.
Come on, Charlie. Crank that PW back a little bit.
Match. He went along real well, and then all of a sudden he started losing the ball. Same things happened to Charlie Tapp. The pressure, the
so let's fast forward here a little bit.
Lanes is not letting him get the lift on the ball. Gets the weak 10. The 6 lays down the channel. No break. Needs to make this one.
All right, let's fast forward a little bit in the match here.
By 15 as a result.
What are you showing us here, Mike?
I want to show you what Toby was doing.
Other than Toby's shirt.
You'll be shooting in the
which is a very dapper looking
shirt. How can a guy smile at you?
Really? I was just going to ask if that shirt was ever
giving him the money. Charlie Tapp's
no, it was never.
He's a solid 7.
Like I would wear this shirt if I was going to go
especially on
command a ship.
3, 6, 10.
Now,
for the man who proves that.
Here, I think we can go.
You're going to make it. It'll bounce either against
fast
the
forward a little
sideboard
more
and
here.
come back, take out the 4.
Strike up. And now.
Right in Charlie's face. Take that, Tapp.
Separates these pros. Contreras with a double. Charlie Tapp, 152 through the 8th.
A very tight match, to say the least, right, John?
Absolutely. 221 to 212. They both shoot.
Back for Tony Contreras. Force Contreras.
I want to get to the 10th
strike twice.
But I don't want to go too far. All right, let's start. This should be
needs 2 strikes to win. He must strike on
both
balls. Now he
need a double, huh?
Need a double and 2 to win. Now, John, just imagine you're on the bench.
No more than he ever sees right here.
And you're watching this guy in that shirt. He looks like a waiter on a cruise ship in that shirt.
That's something.
Absolutely.
And this is what you're going to have to watch.
Well, that was beautiful.
That was ace, but right in Charlie's face, too. What is Charlie thinking at that moment? Charlie, if you're
Right
still
now,
here, please let me
I
know
would
what you're
assume
thinking.
Charlie's thinking, man, he prematurely got excited. He's probably going to gas this one.
The youth of America right here. We
The
raise
youth?
them
This
strong
guy's
and
not
tough
like
in the
he's
United
not like
States,
40
and
here.
here's living proof right here. He needs one strike. Never been in this situation before.
Wow,
And Joe
11,000
Pompilio,
on
obviously,
this
with the
ball,
words of
but much
wisdom,
more
as
than
only
that.
Joe would provide.
Trip to Firestone, it all rides. A whole
Like, I'm
career.
surprised Charlie didn't try to trip him or something here.
Second, third, and fourth.
All right, he needs to hit the win.
It's finished with a 212.
Oh my God! Please don't add insult to injury and tell me that he crumbles a bucket.
Shot.
And mind you, this is for Charlie's first title too. They're both going for their first title.
I did not know that.
Unbelievable, Chris. What a shot. We have just seen 8 strikes, 4 by each bowler.
Charlie, you know I love you. This is all in fun, but my God, how did you not like?
By Contreras.
How did you not like drop kick this guy?
Sponsored on the beginning by his dad and brother. And after
And there he is walking off. Look at Charlie walking off. See you later.
Well, he can anyway. Should he?
Be the runner-up.
Bye-bye.
Charlie, I wish you would have ducked him.
I've seen stranger things happen. He needs one.
He needs 2, right?
He needs 2 pins to win.
2, yeah.
He
He needs
2
2.
pins. I'll tell you, Chris, this is as fine a performance I've seen by anybody. Anybody.
Now he's going to exhale on that one.
What a young man. This is aspiring.
Finally did a look and 6-bagger.
Yeah, I could tell by this video that's that blue trackball, right? Sandblasted. God, I'm sorry, Charlie.
Sorry, Charles. But Toby has to make the list. JD actually brought up an interesting name. This guy was on my list.
Okay.
Steve Fields.
You had mentioned him, the 1993 Seattle Open champion and owner of the win on the worst ever PBA television show ever produced. Yeah, that I didn't bring that one up because we had mentioned it last week on your show, Mike. So I figured that was one of yours. So I've been staying away from Steve Fields and his Steel Rhino Pro.
And he beat Randy, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
and then Randy picked him up.
Yeah. All right. So I got 2 more. How many more do you have?
I have 3, but again, the 2 of them are. Oh, I got to keep deleting photos because I took screenshots of them. Actually, I only have 2 more now.
All right, fire one away.
All right, the 1997 PBA Oregon Open champion, no longer with us.
See, that's another hard one.
Fine, you can.
But
parameters. I told you, last 3 are controversial.
Jim Johnson Jr. from Delaware.
Yes.
That's a hard one because JJ made a lot of shows. He made in the National. He made a couple of shows at the National.
Okay. What's a lot of shows?
I think he probably made a dozen or so. I mean, that's not a bad amount of shows to make.
Not at all. 1 title.
No, 1 title. All right. I have to go with the guy we bowled with him. We bowled juniors with him. He's the greatest bowler to come out of the state of Rhode Island ever.
John Van Hees.
Yeah, I mean, look, John has a national title, right? Never heard from John again. I mean, I know he did the league. He was on a league team. But never heard from John again, ever.
I'll sit with you there.
Yeah, I mean, I love Van Hees. He's a great player.
But if you're talking strictly about career, his career was relatively short-lived on tour, at least as a full-time player. The show that he made was in the more modern era of the PBA, and the formats were a lot shorter. If you recall, in that tournament, the finals were contested in a different venue than the qualifying.
Yep, it was downstairs at the stadium.
Correct. So on completely different lane beds, and they were always tricky in that building. But again, in a short run, anybody can win a bowling tournament. And there's no doubting John Van Hees' ability to compete at the highest level, but I agree with you on this one. I do.
Yeah. All right, give me another one.
My last one, if my records are correct, is by far the most controversial one that I could possibly bring up.
Is it? We may have the same one then.
His only win, in my recollection, is the 1999 Greater Detroit Open. And he is still a major household name. He is a veteran and journeyman pro. He's involved with all aspects of the bowling world. He's a sensational bowler. He's probably got 50 regionals, if I had to take a guess. He's been with one company for his entire career.
Dave Watka.
Yep.
That's another hard one.
Right. It's disgusting for me to even say it because it doesn't make sense.
Who had a better career, Dave Watka or Mike Edwards?
I don't know.
That's a good one.
They both had great careers, and
very
it's a very,
similar.
very, very nice comparison. Absolutely.
Very similar, right?
Totally. Totally.
I got one more, and then Fancy threw two. She just texted me two more.
Oh, nice.
This one's gonna hit home.
Mike, if you can, let Fancy know I changed my number.
I'll text it to her. Okay?
It's been like 6 months. I used to at least bullshit with her and send her I wanted to say Happy Holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and Fancy, it's nice to see you again. But yeah, I did get a different cell phone, so I want to make sure that they can stay in touch, especially when they're out here.
Yeah, I'll send it over for you. No problem.
Thank you.
This one's gonna hit home, and I'm sure for the local guys that are still with us, like Joe and JD and whatnot, I have to put Matt O'Grady in there. I have to.
That's fair.
And this is why I say it. So Matt made one show at the stadium at the World Series, the Shark, and Walter was on that show. All right. And then Matt goes on to make the show at the Tournament of Champions, and he wins. He runs the ladder. The controversy becomes this, and Matt heard a lot of backlash from this. Well, he bowled the TSC, but he never won on the national tour. He got in because he won a regional title. Okay. Kelly Kulick, exactly.
Kelly Kulick.
But after that, forget about personal stuff. That's not what I'm referring to. You never heard from Matt O'Grady again on the national tour.
Yeah, he needs to be in there. We are obviously more partial to Matt because we've grown up with him, and we know that Matt has the ability to win several times on tour.
Absolutely.
So, but yes, from a general perspective, absolute one-hit wonder. When the Tournament of Champions run the ladder in Riviera Lanes, it's a moment to never forget. And then
absolutely
nobody forget. He had his moment. He, like you said, he made the TV show at Shark. He had that. He competed with USA versus the World for a little while when they did that. In the arena when it was him, BJ Moore,
Danielle.
No, it was him. The one I'm thinking is him, BJ Moore, Richie Allen, EJ Tackett, and can't remember who the fifth guy was. But yeah, they got a win there. But you're 100% right. Yeah, and Matt, Mike, he's our age.
Yeah, he used to spend weekends at my house and whatnot. All of us.
I used to stay at his.
Yeah, Matt, I think he has to be there. JPav. I think, and I'm not, forget about what anybody thinks or has heard about Matt. That is not what we're going on. No. So strictly after he won, his career never really panned out the way it should have panned out.
I totally agree with you, my friend.
Now I'm going to go with Fancy's 2 that she gave me.
Nice.
And then we'll wrap it up because it's getting late here.
Sounds good to me.
Eric Adolphson, I'm pronouncing his name wrong. Adolphson.
Seattle Open, 1992.
Yes. Yep. He had that weird mustache.
Yep. That's a very, very good one.
You know what he reminds me of? He reminds me of a guy that would drive a minivan with the curtains in the windows.
I like it.
Right? And then the last one she gave me, Brian Alpert.
Very, very good. Very, very good. Alpert.
Yeah.
He's awesome lefty and righty, that guy.
Is he really?
Yep, absolutely. 1988 Kessler Open champ. I I'll give you a couple more
Let's honorable mentions.
Honorable mentions here.
Let's go.
Again, controversial, don't care.
Yep.
Ray Edwards. Our local northeastern Ray Edwards. His 1991 El Paso championship.
He did make the show at the Firestone too.
This one really crushes me. Really, really crushes me because he only has.
See if I can guess it.
He has one title and it's a doubles. Right-hander. I don't want to give you too much here because any identifying characteristic that I give you, you're going to get it instantly.
Is it Firpo?
All right, I guess you're going to get it. You're going to get it anyway. Joe Firpo. I mean, Joe Firpo, man.
No, it was right there.
Wait, what?
It was Fancy called it out. I mean, that's how I knew it.
I don't see him until you. I don't see him until you put him up. Yeah. Joe Firpo, and Joe made tons of shows and sensational talent, and never even had a singles win. Come on.
Okay, wait a minute. Then I'm gonna give you one more. I'm gonna go way back. All right. I'm going into the '60s for this one.
I like it.
All right.
Yeah.
And I hope we don't lose the internet. Are we considering Litch a one-hit wonder?
Like Larry Lickstein?
Larry Lickstein.
Again, it's hard, man. I mean, that's who my dad beat for the TSC. So it's
Larry?
Yeah.
No.
Or no. Not the TSC. Sorry. Same year, and when he won the 3 in a row, I can't remember which tournament it was. Larry was wearing the checkered pants. It was one of the 3 when Dad won the 3 straight shows in 71 at the end of the year. Yeah, that's when it was, I think. Gil Sliker's another one. Another notable, Mike, closer in our generation, Anthony Lacaze.
Very good one there. Yeah.
I mean, sensational college player. 2010 Earl Anthony Memorial champ.
Yep.
Like, where's he been for 12 years? I feel like I saw Lacaze yesterday, and I haven't seen him for 12 years. That's weird.
Mike Shady would be another one.
Mike Shady, for sure.
But Shady didn't really bowl on tour. He took some years off on tour.
He did. He was always a part. He was a very, very good part-time player. The other really, really good one we were mentioning, Quaker States, is the 86 Quaker State.
John O'Drobanek.
Yes.
John
throwing that red ball. And he actually bowled great on that show. He also ran the ladder.
He beat – who did he beat, John? He beat –
some legends.
He beat somebody in the like a nobody in the first match.
I know he bowled. I want to say Roth and Holman were both on that show.
And Webb.
Yes.
Yeah. Good luck.
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah. That's Murderer's Row getting the title there.
I mean, we could do this all day, man. I mean, there's a lot of names on here that I can't believe are only one-time champions. I mean, it's a sin. And then some of them I don't even know. But like a couple more of the notables that if we're going on those parameters before we get out of here, I mean,
yeah. Did we say Kelly Kulik's a one-hit wonder?
I'm not going to say that.
I can't say that because she's one of the best female bowlers to ever throw a bowling ball.
Exactly. Ever. It's two different sports. I mean, we're going for PBA players. We're gonna penalize her, or we're gonna demean her talent because she only won one title on the national tour. No, she's a legend and she's not a one-hit wonder.
Yeah, we already got Brian Davis. We already talked about him.
Yep, we got him there. JD.
Yep.
What? Gary Mage only has one title? The 72 Seattle Open?
That's way before our time. Your father would know that one.
Well, I know that one too because I remember I watch all the old shows.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Here's one again. I don't like it. Jeff Lizzie.
Wow.
World Open champion.
Jimmy Johnson.
Also, what did he win? The World Open?
He won the World Open too. Yeah, they both did.
Yeah.
See, I would say Jimmy Johnson a little bit more than Lizzie would be a one-hit wonder. Jeff had a pretty decent career.
True.
Jimmy Johnson, he won the one title. He made one other show or two other shows. that was really it, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Dude, there's just so many
There
that you
sure
could
is.
just go on and on and on. I mean, the list
Well,
is endless.
I think it's safe that we pretty much identified all of the ones that belong, somewhat belong.
So out of our list, I think we're both going to agree the biggest one-hit wonder in the history of the PBA Tour is Emmett Shoots.
Emmett Shoots, 100%.
Emmett Shoots, and then Brian Davis right behind him.
Yeah, I like that. Emmett Shoots and Brian Davis.
All right, and then for next week, if John is going to be back next week again,
as long as we do it at the same time,
Yeah.
because I'm proud to say that I am going to try and bowl next week.
you're going to try to walk next week. Okay,
I've been walking. I can move my leg now, so
perfect. Yeah,
trying to bowl.
it'll be at the same time. Next week, I have already started my list for next week. Next week's the top amateurs that never went on tour.
Okay, I'm ready.
Yeah, that one's going to be a good one too, and that's where JD can come in, and Joe can come in. All these guys, there's a lot of good ones there.
I like it. That's a good topic.
That's a very good topic, and of course, if anybody has any other questions or nominees for people we might have missed tonight, go to the Facebook page, drop a line there. I'm sure we missed a ton of people, but I think these were the best ones that we could think of.
Totally. Am I correct in saying that you have some sort of giveaway information? Michael?
Yeah, I'm here. You got to repeat yourself, please.
I said, am I mistaken when I say that you're doing your giveaway tonight?
I am. And thank you for reminding me. There was the winner of the giveaway.
What was the giveaway again?
It was a Coolwick jersey. Coolwick donated a jersey.
No, what was the guess?
My eight game total at the holiday doubles.
Got it.
And there were the winner. He guessed it right on the nose.
Wow. That's pretty impressive.
Very impressive. We thought of the Price is Right rules, closes without going over. Oh, by the way, happy birthday to Bob Barker yesterday. Turned 99 yesterday.
Happy birthday, Mr. Barker.
Yeah, again, Drew Carey sucks. I'm sorry. He's not the Price is Right host. And I know Drew Carey's a bowler, but no, Bob Barker is the Price is Right.
Alex Trebek is Jeopardy. I still don't know the guy's name that runs Jeopardy, and I watch it.
Ken Jennings.
You do.
Yeah. So let's congratulate Jeremy Domingo for guessing my 8-game total of 177 over for my 8. So 1777 was the number, and I left about 50 or 60 out there, as I told you, my back 3. So Jeremy, I'll text you and get you hooked up with that. Really quick, John, is that the shirt that Dad wore in Greedy on the wall?
This one?
The one over your left shoulder.
Yeah,
that is. That
yes. That is the shirt from the movie Greedy. I was going to wear it, but it's too tight on my shoulders.
It happens. And JD throwing one more name in there before we head out tonight. You ready?
Yes. Great pick. Kimo Sabi.
Yeah, great follow through too.
Oh yeah.
A very interesting. He kind of looked like Captain Morgan a little bit, like with the arm up, right?
Yeah, he was an interesting guy. He was cool. Him and my dad made a show out of doubles together.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah. My dad was throwing a Parker Bone MVP, and he was throwing a track Avenger and an Enforcer. And
they were good bowling balls. Those track things were pretty good.
Yeah, that Enforcer was a nice piece.
Yeah, Jason Hurd threw that a lot. I like Jason Hurd. Now he won a title with your father.
Yeah, they won a Touring Pro Senior Doubles in the stadium.
Was that his only title? Was that Hurd's only title? He could be a one-hit wonder.
I think it might be. He wasn't in my master list earlier.
No, and he made a couple shows in that
late
90, early 2000 range.
Yep, he did. I'll have to research that.
All right, let's wrap this one up. I got to go put up a Christmas tree. So, everybody, thank you very much for tuning in. John, always a pleasure. I will send Mrs. Williams your number.
Thank you.
Not a problem. And we will be back next Tuesday at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific for John. And we will do the best amateur bowlers that never went on tour That one should be very interesting as well.
I like it.
So until then, like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, the Facebook page. Jeremy, I will message you if I get your free shirt. Pains me that I have to give Jeremy Domingo something. Really quick, want a good Jeremy Domingo story really quick?
Sure.
Really fast. We're bowling a King of the Hill, or I'm sorry, it's King of the Mountain, they call this thing in the center, like 7-8 years ago. And we're bowling on some Nationals pattern, whatever it was. So Jeremy was the leader. I qualified 8th, so I'm bowling Jeremy in the first round of the finals in the bracket. And Jeremy's up like 40 pins in the 6th frame, and he just goes ring and 10, ring and 10. I double. Blows out of 7. I throw another hit, right? Jeremy needs the first hit in the 10th to lock me out. All right. And we're bowling, let's say 17, 18, 19, 20 in the middle of the house. Dave Knight is bowling on 1 and 2 in his match in the finals. Jeremy dead high flush stones an 8. He's at the foul line. Now, if you know Jeremy, he's nothing, 5'5", 5'6", tiny little guy. Little fella, right?
Mm-hmm.
Screams, hands on his hips, your mother's rag. At the top of his lungs, makes Dave Knight drop the ball on the approach. Dying laughing. I proceed to go up there double to beat Jeremy, send Jeremy packing. It's the greatest Jeremy Domingo story ever. But until next week, John, he'll never live it down. But until next week, we'll be back. Like the page, like the YouTube channel. Any comments, suggestions, you know where to find me. Johnny, all the love. We'll see you guys next Tuesday at 7 o'clock.
See you next Tuesday. Your mother's rag.